Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video I'll show you how I made some quick and easy jungle bases using some fantastic products from Gamer's Grass. A huge thank you to Gamer's Grass, who sent out a nice selection of all their laser plants, grasses, tufts and other little things that we can add to our jungle bases, and you've probably seen some of these popping up in some of the previous painting videos I've made. But in this video we're going to really focus on some cool jungle bases for some Catachan models, and if you haven't seen these before, these are really fantastic. They're little laser cut plants that you can pop out, mould and then just put on your bases. You don't have to paint them, it's all done for you, really nice and easy and really effective as well. And then we've got all the different flower sets which are going to bring some nice touches of colour, and that's going to break up all the different grasses and tufts that we're going to use. And here's some nice ones. I'm going to be using mostly the jungle tufts here, but there's also some little moss ones, all different shapes and sizes for different effects. Here's a crew I made a little while ago that you might have seen in one of my kill team videos, where I used these nice bright pink flowers which I think worked really well, but I went quite simple with their bases. And here's my Cadian troops, where I just added a little bit more with those jungle tufts. But now I've got to do all my Catachans, and I want to go super heavy with the jungle theme. So we're going to pick out some big models so you can have a really good look at how this is done. But the effects that you'll see in this video I've used for my Catachan kill team and also my Catachan troopers for 40k. And I hope this video will give you a good idea about just how easy it is to use these great products and create something that I think looks really effective. You're also going to need a few other ingredients. We've got the Vallejo Thick Mud Acrylic. This stuff is awesome. I've done a video on that if you'd like to check it out. I've got some static grass as well. Any brand's going to work nicely for this, and it's quite long. Then I've got some regular flocking. I've got the Battlefield's Battle Grass, but again, any brand is going to work nicely for this. Choose something quite fine. I thought I'd use one of my Ogryns here. I think he's going to be a really good example because the base is quite large, so you can see the effect a bit more clearly. But I've gone ahead and I've done all my 32mm bases for my Catachan kill team, which I use the Orc Commando rules for, and I just proxy these models in, so I put them on the larger bases. And you can see I've used all the different laser plants, grasses, flowers, and so really nice selection. So I'll replicate this on the Ogryn. For this guy, my orangutan, I used banana leaves, which I thought really fitted in with his vibe. Okay, let's get on with it. So I like to get organised and pick out some of the different flowers and tufts that I know I'm going to use on the base. Then I get all my other ingredients to hand, so I'm good to go once I start basing. You can use a Citadel texture tool or just a coffee stirrer to add your thick mud, and that's the first step we're going to do. You may want to use a cocktail stick or the end of a brush to help put those flowers in place. So the first step is to get this thick mud. This stuff's awesome. It's got some really nice texture to it. I'll scoop some out so you can have a good look. But you can see it's not just a smooth paste. There's all bits in there. Let's focus in on that. And so this gives really nice texture to the base. It's almost like representing twigs and things in there. So I put a generous dollop on the base first, and then I switch to the narrower end of the tool, and I'm just going to push that around, get it right up to the feet. I don't mind if it goes on the model a little bit, because this is going to be thick, dense jungle, so I don't mind that at all. And then I push it around. What I try and do is imagine where I'm going to be putting the laser cut flowers by Gamer Grass. And then in those spots, I add a little bit extra, like a little pile of it, just so that's got a good amount for the plant to sit in. So that's covered the whole base now. So I'll start with the biggest plants normally, and I'll find that bit where I put a little bit extra of the mud, and I'll just place it in there. When that sets, that's going to hold it. It's very strong. And when you pick out little plants like this, you just bend the stalk back, and then for the top part of it, you can just fold it together, give it a good squeeze, and then that gives it lots of shape. And then once you combine this with all the grasses, it really is effective. Again, I'll find a little pile of that mud and just rest it in there. Once that's set overnight, that's going to be solid. Then I'll start putting the flowers in, and if you notice, I've almost gone for 3 large flowers, and then I've put them in like a triangle on the base, and that's really aesthetically pleasing. So when you're looking at that, it's going to look quite natural. Odd numbers are usually very nice. There's this thing called the Fibonacci sequence, and if you follow that number sequence with things like this, you can get a real natural effect. And I'm continuing that with the tufts, so I'll take one of the big jungle tufts, and then I'll just get the glue at the bottom and just pull it apart into different sizes. Try and make it quite random, and then I'll start arranging that. I'll get it in place, get my little stick or cocktail stick or end of the brush, and just press it down into the mud. And you can see I've just kind of thinking where it would look right amongst the plants. And then I'm doing the same with these little coloured flowers. I'll just pick little bits off, and then this makes these packs go a lot further as well. You don't have to put a big lump of flower in one place. You can split it up and have them dotted around. So I'm nestling those in amongst the grass, trying to tuck them behind some of the plants that are already there. Also looking at the colours, I don't want too many pink colours in the same place, so I'm spreading it out, using the yellow to break it up a bit. And as you can see there, I'm still following that rule of 3 and just doing like a little triangle shape with those flowers. For the next part, I grab a piece of paper, fold a crease down the middle. That'll catch any excess static grass. If you haven't used this before, I really like this stuff. You can grab it, it sticks together, the friction on it is really good, and then you just sprinkle it on, almost in clumps. So I'll take a little lump and flick it in one place and sprinkle it around. I'm not trying to cover all of the mud here, but I'm picking out some bare spots. Give it a tap, and then if you hold it upside down and just gently blow on it, that grass is going to stand up nice and proud and give you some different height when you compare it to the big tufts. And so this is the stage we're at now. There's still some little bits of brown coming through. So I'll use that crease in the paper just to tidy up and put that static grass back in the pot. And then I'll grab some flocking. You can see just how fine this is. It's kind of got a mixed colour to it. And then I'll just sprinkle that all over quite generously. And it's only going to stick to the brown mud revealing. Give it a nice firm tap underneath. And then that's all there is to it. Really nice and easy. Layering it up like this really gives that idea that it's dense. All the different heights make it look natural. And I've just copied that for all of my ogrins and my bullgrins. And I use the same effect on all the other models in my army too. Final stage is to grab some Castellan green. This is a base paint. You can use any colour you like. You might want to go brown, you might want to go black. I like the green on this, and I'm going to give it 2 or 3 nice thin coats, and then that's going to give it a solid green around the base. Let each coat dry before you add the next one, and that's all there is to it. And here's the finished result. I've got to say I'm really happy how these turned out. I did go quite hard with the jungle theme. I thought it really suits the Catachan, and the Ogrins and Bullgrins I think really work well with it. Here's the rest of my kill team, all the regular troops as well, and you can see I've gone a little bit more fancy with the kill team than these models that you can see here, although I have given my sergeants some of the bigger plants. Let's have a close-up look at the model then. So this is the one we used throughout the video, and you can see now once it's set, that tuft with the static grass, I think, gives a really nice effect of almost like he's trodden through it, he's flattened some areas, and the different heights really sell that idea. The laser cut plants work really well in combination with that static grass. I think if you did them on their own, it wouldn't be as effective, but you have to combine it, and adding some flowers in as well just breaks it up and really gives you the idea that there's quite a lot going on in this jungle, but the purple flowers are really nice, and those big leaves, I think, really work well. Here's all 3 of the Ogrins together, Nork Deadog as well there on the left, and then I've also built 3 Bullgrins using these guys, the Gutbusters from Age of Sigmar, and some of the parts from that kit. Great way to bulk it out. Then for my snipers, I use some of the Gamer's Grass ferns, which I really like. I think they're nice, and you can really see him hidden amongst it there. I think that's a fun idea. And then for my kill team, I use more of the bigger, broader leaves, lots of plants, lots of flowers, and again, the tufts and the grass at the different height with that static grass. Here's some more of the kill team, and with this guy in particular, the orangutan, I use some of the Gamer's Grass banana leaves. Obviously he likes bananas, so he's up the tree, so this fits in really nicely. These are really big. And here's this example on some smaller bases. These are my proxies I use for the Commando Grot on the left and the Bomb Squig on the right. And then you can see the 2 different size models with those big leaves is quite effective. And then for the regular troops that I'm using in 40k, I didn't go quite as mad using those Gamer's Grass laser plants. But on the sergeants, I did give them a little plant here and there just to make them a little bit more special. And then here you can see I've got one squad that I really like using Anvil industry parts. So I've added a few extra plants and flowers to them. So they're more of an elite squad if you like. I hope you found this video helpful and it gave you a good idea how you can use these products to make some nice, easy jungle bases for your miniatures. This is such a great selection. You're pretty much going to have everything you need for all different types, not just jungle, but if you wanted to do some urban one, I think all those mosses are going to come in really well. And I'm looking forward to using some of these laser plants in some terrain builds that I've got coming up. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. If you did like the video, please hit the like button. Subscribe if you've been enjoying the videos recently, and I look forward to seeing you here next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'd like to say a huge thank you to my Patreon supporters. We're on our way to 100 members, and when we get there, I'll start doing narrative battle reports, which will feature some of the models you've seen in this video today. So a huge thank you to you. I couldn't do it without you.